So I was gonna film a shop my stash, and I'm still going to. But as I was looking through my makeup collection, I was like, I can't believe I almost did not get this makeup product. And then I had an idea. What if I did a full face of makeup of products that I almost passed on? I thought that'd be a lot of fun to do, but I'm also going to challenge you guys. I want you guys to let me know in the comments below, what are the makeup products that you almost passed on and you are so glad that you guys did not? Let me know in the comments below. But with that said, besties, grab a snack, grab a drink, and I'm going to tell you guys why I almost passed on these and why I'm so glad I didn't. Okay, so before we dive into today's video, I'm just going to quickly fill my brows in with the Benefit Precisely My Brow. Just because I really do love this brow product, and it's just like it's my tried and true. Like, I have been using this for years now, and I keep going back to it because it truly is just a staple. So I'm just going to quickly fill my brows in with the Benefit Precisely My Brow before we dive into a full face of makeup that I almost skipped on buying. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the eyes. Now, this is the only thing I did not purchase. Everything else I have sitting in front of me, I bought myself. But the reason why I'm putting this in today's video is because I almost said no to receiving it in PR because I've tried this brand before and I really wasn't that impressed with the quality, but something told me to give it a chance. And it's the brand new Ladybug Glow Floresta Inverno palette right here. Now, this was sent to me PR, like I said, but I almost said no to receiving this palette. But before I tell you why, let's dive into the details about this palette. So the Floresta Inverno palette from Ladybug Glow retails for $48.99, and it says that this is a beautiful 10-pan palette that features 6 blendable mattes, 4 beautiful sparkly shifty multichromes in special marble confetti shades. Pigment palette, not all shades are going to be, this is going to be a pigment palette, so not all shades are going to be recommended for use around the eyes, but I'm really excited to see what this palette is all about. Now, like I said, I originally was going to say no to this because, like I said, I've tried this brand before when they had it was like a murky water, lady in the water, some mermaid siren palette that I got a couple years ago. Someone sent it to me in my P.O Box, and I swatched it and I tried it, and I think there's like one more palette, and I was like, what is this? And I just really wasn't that impressed with the quality of the brand. So I was like, oh, I don't know what I should do, because I didn't want to be offensive to the person who sent it to me, because I thought it was actually really nice they did. But at the same time, I also knew that I really wasn't going to get a use out of it. So I ended up putting it into a giveaway for my Patreon members, and I gave it to them because I didn't want it to go to waste either. And so when I got reached out to try this brand in PR again, I was kind of like, I don't know. If it's the same quality as before, I'm going to politely decline because I don't want to waste the owner's time. I don't want to waste their inventory. I don't want to waste their money. But I was asked very kindly, and I said, okay, let me just give them one more chance because they did apparently reformulate. Let's try them out. So we're going to see whether or not I made a good decision. I have no affiliation with this brand whatsoever, by the way. So let's see what I think of this palette. So I am going to play with some of the multichromes. So I kind of want to start off by doing my outer V with this shade right here called Inverno. And we're going to see the quality. Now, when I swatch these, the mattes were a little questionable. They definitely were a little patchy, so hopefully that's not the case. Maybe just the way my swatch was, but we're gonna find out. Now, I always get asked what brand I'm using for brushes, so I'm actually going into the Glaminatrix. This is gonna be the EO3 brush right here. I'm gonna affiliate code with them. It's gonna be code Allie, save you guys 10% off. I don't know if these brushes are still around. I really do hope they are because they are phenomenal brushes. I like smaller brushes for the eyes just because even though I do have very large eyes, I just feel like they kind of are, I don't want to say hooded, but yeah, maybe just a little bit. You see that? I mean, that just comes with age. So I like having a little bit more smaller brushes to really get in the nitty gritty, and I don't put it all over the lid. Because if you go back to my early content, you will definitely see where I got it literally all over the lid and my blending sucked, and I used to get really, really mean YouTube comments back in the day. So I have tried to perfect my skills so that people don't attack me and they're just nicer in my comment section, because I know that my blending isn't always the best, but I'm not trying to be perfect here, okay? Makeup's for fun, not trying to be perfect. First, want to say I'm not perfect. I just like to have fun with it. So yeah, I thought this would be a really fun idea. I was looking through my makeup collection because I really want to film a Shop My Stash. I have not done a Shop My Stash in a hot minute, and I really, really love the series Shop My Stash. I was like, why not do something kind of similar where I'm kind of going through my makeup collection? And then I was like, oh, I think it would be a really cool idea if I kind of show the makeup that I almost passed on. Because there's some makeup that I always look at going, I can't believe I almost skipped on this. So I thought, would it be fun if we filmed a video where I review them, where I play with makeup that I literally almost passed on, and I did. And the only reason why I even got some of this makeup is because I got it on sale. Otherwise, I was never going to buy it. So I'm excited to show you guys what I have in front of me. Some of this should not be shocking to you because some of this has been rated in my top like 2024, 2025, like makeup products. So this should not be a shock to you, but it's definitely really fun to kind of go through your collection and see what you guys might have passed on had you guys not picked it up, or what are some holy grails that you just did not expect. I love hearing from you guys and hearing your suggestions or hearing your makeup products that you almost passed on. Because sometimes we do that. Sometimes we're like, oh, I don't need that or I don't want that. And then we just randomly come across it and we're like, how did I skip on this? You know what I mean? Like, why did I sit on this makeup product for so long? I'm going to take this shade right here called Wisteria. And we're going to use that to blend right on top of that. And I'm going to go into an Artitude Cosmetics brush. This is going to be the 04 brush right here. And again, you guys can use my affiliate code Allie to save you guys 10% off. I absolutely love this little small eye blending brush. It's so good. Okay, so right next to this shade, I'm going to go in the shade right here called Flora. It's really pretty like multi-chrome right here. Almost marbled. Ooh, I must drop this palette. This is how it's going to look. Really pretty. Kind of looks like it has a little bit of blue tint. I hope I'm put this on the right spot, but we're going to put this right here because it has like a blue to purple shift. I'm doing a lot of purple eye looks. I haven't done a blue eye look in a minute, so I thought blue would be really nice to kind of go for. Okay, then right next to that, we're going to go into this shade right here called Frosty. Again, another really beautiful like multi-chrome shade or like marble shade. Do you see that? I will say the shimmers feel really nice. There's definitely a lot of pickup when it comes to the mattes, but the shimmers do feel really, 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 really nice. So we're going to take that and we're going to put that right here. Ooh, that is so pretty. Okay, and then I think I'm going to take this shade right here called Mulberry, and we're going to use that to line my upper waterline today so I can mix it with my false lashes. So far, it's working nicely. I'm not really having too many issues. The mattes are not that wowing to me, at least the two shades I played with, because I could tell that this blue one, it's wanting to be just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit patchy, but I'm going to give it its moment because, you know, it's my first time playing with it, so maybe it's just me, but we're definitely going to keep playing with this palette. So I'm going to play some purples underneath the waterline, like down here, but so far it is working really nicely. Like, it's definitely very different from when I played with it before. Really pretty color story too. Some fallout with that purple right here, but other than that, it is laying down nicely. Okay, so now that the eyeshadow's on, I will say it's actually really, really, really pretty. I'm loving how this turned out. The mattes blended out really nicely on top of that. Do you see that beautiful gradient shift? Do you see that beautiful blend? I'm so excited. Okay, so now moving on to primer. This is gonna shock you guys. So, before I was ever on this brand's PR list, I used to buy everything myself because as someone with really oily skin, it was really hard to find a brand that actually catered to people with large pores and oily skin. So when I saw this product being announced, I was like, I don't know. Because again, it was kind of out of my price range, especially at that time. But I bit my wallet and I said we're doing it. And it's the Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse Mattifying Primer. The first time I ever bought this, I bought this myself. They never sent this to me in PR. It took them a long time to actually send me anything in PR. But it's because of this right here and me consistently talking about it, tagging them in it, that they finally started to take notice of who I was, because I consistently tagged them and said, please, for the love of God, continue to make stuff for oily skin. I have gone through so many of this over the past couple years, and I literally sometimes look at myself going, I can't believe I almost passed on getting this just because of the price point. I was like, okay, can a high-end brand or like a higher-end brand truly make something for large pores and oily skin? Now, I will say, this does really nothing for my large pores. And I've been very vocal about that since the beginning. But for some reason, this just works really well at helping to contain the oil. It does a really good job at helping to contain the oil, especially when it's paired with the Glow recipe. This is going to be the Strawberry BHA Pore Smoothing Blur Drops. Again, this is another product that just was one of those things that I was like, I don't know, maybe it's a gimmick, and low-key it is, because again, it does nothing for my large pores and oily skin. And I feel like that's the most hate I probably ever received from like TikTok, is when I did a review of this pore drop, because I was like, y'all, this does nothing for my large pores, and people are like, yikes, you have craters on your face, You should go get that medically taken care of. God, people were mean. But you know what? Surprisingly, it did not hurt my feelings. I was really shocked that I was not hurt by the words that people were saying on me. I think just because I don't know, I'm just used to that shit. I've been picked on since I was a child, you know what I mean? So I just have thicker skin. I was like, yep, you're right. Look at these craters, you know what I mean? We could do moonwalks on here. We can go exploring the craters on my face. Yeah, I had fun with it. But surprisingly, these two products right here are something that I just kind of overlooked. Was like, I don't know if I really want to get it. But during a sale, I picked up this one and I was like, let me try this. And I was like, God, I've been sitting on this. Why? Why did I do that to myself? Because I really ended up falling in love with these products. They work beautifully together to really help contain the oil. As for the pores, they're shit at doing anything for the pores, but they're fantastic at helping to control the oil. For foundation, this is one of those foundations that I, again, was like, I don't know. I don't know if I really want to get this foundation because it's a higher end foundation. And I was like, oh, how much can it really do? But surprisingly enough, I actually really ended up falling in love with this. Is this the most holy grail foundation for me? No, it's not. But it still looks absolutely beautiful on the skin. And I really have fallen in love with it, especially because it just wears very nicely. And this is going to be the Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is going to be the, like, oh my God, I don't even know what this foundation is called. Impeccably Matte Foundation. I think that's what this is called. I was like, there's just no way, because every time I buy a high-end foundation that's, you know, matte and long wear, it never is. Besties, it never is. But this one actually took me by surprise. This one really did surprise me. It has a great longevity to it. I still do get oily by the end of the day, but it's more like a sheen and not like a greasy ball, nasty mess you could fry an egg, but more like just like a soft, subtle glow. But you could definitely tell it's oil, but it looks more healthy and glowy than anything else. That's why I really do appreciate this. Plus, when you put this on the face, this just looks really, really beautiful. It gives me like a really nice blurred complexion, because sometimes yes, it is about the oil control. Sometimes I really do want the oil control for sure, but other times I want more of like a blurring effect, just kind of depending on what I'm doing. Like if I'm just like filming for a makeup video, I don't necessarily care if it doesn't do much to control the oil. But if I'm going to be out and about, I definitely want to control the oil. If I'm just doing filming and I want this to look more like a blurring filter, absolutely. Do you guys see how it's literally starting to cover up those pores? Do you see that? It is such a beautiful, beautiful foundation. It definitely is on the thicker side. So if you're one that likes more full coverage foundation, this is going to be for you. But if you're one that's like I like a more lightweight, natural, I like a more lightweight foundation that's not too heavy, don't get this, because this definitely is a little bit more heavy, because it is a definitely more full coverage foundation. But I absolutely love this. It's a beautiful foundation. Now this one is my summer shade, because it definitely does oxidize down just a tad, but it is just beautiful. This is one of those foundations that I would wear to someone's wedding, where I would know that I'm only going to be wearing the makeup for like a couple hours, and I don't care too much about if I get a little oily. But I won't wear this one to work, because I still want to really protect my face from oil when I go to work, because I'm working like an 8 to 9 hour shift. So I just want to make sure that I'm fully covered for my shift. You know what I mean? But I literally almost passed on this foundation because of the price, because of the brand. And I'm so, so glad that I didn't, because it's just so beautiful. Don't mind the eye area, because that's going to be kind of messy because I'm putting concealer down. But just look at how the foundation looks. The foundation just looks so blurring, so mattifying, and has just a tiniest little tiny glow, but it's just so beautiful. It's a really beautiful foundation, and it's gonna wear like this for probably about 8 to 9 hours. 8 to 9 hours is pretty much gonna wear like this before I start to get oily. But it's absolutely such a beautiful full coverage foundation. I absolutely do love this one. So for liquid or cream bronzer, I was never gonna get this, but I ended up getting it in a BoxyCharm box at the time, and I tried it out and I absolutely hated it. And I ended up just like, I'm going to declutter this, because I did not like this. But a lot of you guys were like, listen, you did it wrong. You used this product wrong. This is on you. Like, this is completely your fault. So I went and got it again, because I was like, okay, I'm going to prove my audience wrong, that this is a piece of shit bronzer. And you guys actually proved me wrong. And it's the reason why my repurchase or trash series is around to this day. It's because of the LYS bronzing stick right here. Now this is my second one, because I've already gone through one because of how good this was. I don't know why the first time I ever used this, I I don't know why the first time I ever used this, I, for some reason, just could not get into it. I don't know what I did wrong, but the first few times I did not like this. Maybe because it was too creamy, it was too deep, but you were just like, bestie, it's on you. You suck at makeup. Learn how to do it properly. And I was just like, oh my God, is my audience like dragging me right now? And you guys were. You guys absolutely were, but in the most beautiful way possible. You guys are the reason why I was like, okay, let me just bite my mouth. I was like, let me just bite my tongue. Let me just go try what my audience is telling me. You know, there's so many people telling me this. Let me go get this again. And I did. And I was just like, well, God damn. You guys are right. So it's why now, whenever I use a product wrong, or I'm like, oh, I don't really like how this works, you guys are like, Allie, what did we learn the first time you listened to your audience? We know best. You don't know anything. And I was like, okay, you're right. So I ended up really, really falling in love with this. And this became like my #1 holy grail bronzer for a very, 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 very long time. It's such a beautiful bronzer. Like I said, it's such a beautiful bronzer. A little bit does go a long way. So it just kind of depends on how heavy you want it on. You can make it really light. You can make it really easy. I used to blend it out with a sponge, and don't get me wrong, it still does blend out really with the sponge, but I just also like blending out with the brush. And then I'm going to go in with my damp beauty sponge right here. And I'm going to tap out anything extra just to make sure it's fully soaked into the floor, and make sure it's fully soaked into the skin. But I think I've been using this bronzer now and like recommending this bronzer, I want to say since like 2023, 2024. It's been a very long time that I've been using this. And it's literally all because of you guys. You guys are legit the reason why I even have this bronzer. You guys are the reason why I even do the repurchase or trash series, because you guys were like, learn how to do makeup. Okay, so for blush, this particular blush right here is not the blush I wasn't gonna purchase. It just was the brand as a whole. For a long time, I never really loved cream blushes. I just thought cream blushes were not really for me because I have really oily skin, and I was like, I don't know how I'm ever gonna make this product work. And you guys are like, just try it out. So I saw this brand start to release a duo blush, and again I was like, I don't know, this brand's too expensive. I'm probably not gonna like it. I'm never gonna use the cream blush side. And you guys are like, just give it a chance. So I did. And it's the Pat Double Take Cream and Powder Blush Duo. Now I'm just going to use the shade Out of Office because it's one of the newer ones they have. But again, I normally would have never bought a type of product like this because it's cream and it's powder, and I never used to use cream blushes. I just always went in with like a cream bronzer, set my face, and then went with a powder bronzer and a powder blush on top. But you guys were like, just give it a chance, keep trying out. And so you guys are the reason why I ended up saying, okay, you know what, let me buy this. But to be fair, I only bought this during a sale. I never really tend to buy this full price because your girl is cheap as fuck. And I tend not to buy things full price. But I almost ended up passing on this particular product as a whole because I was like, there's just no way that I'm going to end up liking this. And I surprisingly tried it out because you guys told me to, and I fell in love. But I think it also took trial and error because I was at first unsure how I was going to get this product to work. I think it's just because I'm like, how do I get a cream blush to work? And so I watched videos on it, and I was like, okay, I just like kind of stipple it in with a brush. You could do a sponge. I think at first I was doing a sponge, and I think that's why I really didn't care for a cream blush because I was using a sponge at first. And granted, a sponge can work, but I find that using a brush just really gets that product in there. You get a little bit more heavy-handed, light-handed, however you wish to do so. But I just find that a brush application works better for me. And I'm able to control the amount of blush I put on, because if you guys go back, like I said, to my previous older videos from a couple years ago, you guys would see, even like a year ago, I was a very, very, very heavy-handed with my blush, and I had very much blush blindness. I still do at times. Don't get me wrong, I still do. But I have been definitely trying to improve and get better each and every single time. But it's because of you guys, so thank you. So for concealer, this concealer has been out for quite some time, but I never wanted to try it because I don't know, I'm not a concealer person. I've been very honest with you guys. I don't like concealer. It's my least favorite makeup product, but I've only seen everybody talk about this for a long time. And literally the only reason why I even picked this up is because I got it on sale. Otherwise, I was never going to get this concealer. But once I got it, I literally cursed myself out because I was like, this is way too good. I have been sitting on this for how long now? And that is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Magic Touch Concealer. This has been out at least a year prior to me ever getting my hands on it. And I literally got this, and I was so mad at myself for sitting on this because it truly is such a beautiful full coverage concealer. It doesn't really sit in any fine lines or creases for me. It just lasts all day. It doesn't lift. It doesn't cake. It doesn't crease. It's just a beautiful overall concealer. And I ended up purchasing another one, and I'm recommending this. I think my best of 2024, maybe 2025. And I had been so mad at myself that I sat on it for so long because I was like, this is so beautiful. And I've always seen people talk about it, but I was just like, I don't want to spend the money on it. I don't want to spend the money on like a $30-something concealer because I could just use my drugstore concealer because I hate concealers. And then once I got it, I was like, damn it. I sat on this for so long, and I'm so glad that I ended up getting this, that I ended up, like I said, I repurchased it during the last Sephora sale because I knew that I had run out, and I had run out for a while. But again, your girl is cheap, and I only like to buy things on sale because, well, why not save where you can? If you can make things last, you can make things work. Why not save while you can? Okay, so for setting the under eye, I did not want to get this powder because I don't like pink powder. I've been very honest with you guys. I didn't like pink powder. I didn't like the Nakia Joy Cosmetics one. I didn't like the One Size Beauty one. I know like a few of the ones I've tried over like the pink powder phase, right, when everybody was obsessed with pink powder. But I have seen everybody talk about this, and I was like, okay, I don't want to get it. I don't want to get it. Like, I'm never going to use pink powder. What does pink powder even do? Like, I was just so against it. But one day I saw Shelby Ann and she wouldn't stop talking about it. And I was like, all right, let me just, if it's here at the store, I'll buy it. And sure as shit it was. And it's the L'Oreal Infallible Blurfection, but this is going to be the pink translucent setting powder. Again, I was so against trying this because I was like, what is this going to do? Because this is just going to be so pink under the eyes. I don't understand the obsession with it. What difference am I going to see? And surprisingly, I actually really like this. I for sure thought this was going to be like super bright, super pinky, because I've tried like the Huda Beauty like ube pink one, and that was like, I look like pink under my eyes. But this surprisingly goes on very, very softly, and it is not too pink, so it definitely does help to brighten the under eye, but not in such an intensive way. I don't really like a super, super intense under eye, because there are some photos I look back on of me over the years, like candid photos. I'm like, oh my god, I look like freaking, hey sisters, I look like that. It was flashback Mary. It was kind of scary. And I was like, who let me out of the house like that? I did. So I've been very, very like cautious about how much like brightening powder I put under my eye, because I know it does look really pretty, but sometimes it could look really pretty on camera, right? But sometimes when you're out of the studio lights and you're in real life, you're kind of like, oh God, tone it down. And that's how I felt. But I ended up trying this out and I ended up really liking it. It works just as well as the Infallible it works just as beautifully as the Infallible Blurfection translucent powder, but I just use this one exclusively for under the eyes, especially if I want to go very soft, really elegant without putting too much product underneath there, but I still want to have just a little bit of a brightening effect. That's when I put it on. And I also like to put on concealer and setting powder after the blush, because if you get like too heavy handed, you can help to tone it down, which is really nice. Now for setting powder. I did not get the setting powder for years. Everybody loved this particular setting powder, and I was one of the only ones that just never wanted to try it. I was like, this powder is not for oily skin, and I'm going to stand by this. This powder is not meant for oily skin, but it really does help to minimize the appearance of my large pores. So like I said, on the days I don't care about oil production, or if I know that like I'm not going out afterwards, or if I just want to have something for a couple hours, I will go to the setting powder because it does such a beautiful job at blurring my large pores. And the only reason why I end up trying it is because a subscriber is like, I'm going to get you to try it. So they sent me this, I think it was like pound cake, and I ended up really enjoying it. So I ended up getting a full version for myself because a subscriber had sent me another version of this, and I really enjoyed it, that I was like, I got to get the full size. And that's the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Setting Powder. People raved about this for years and years, and I always just sat on it going, nope, 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 nope. Never going to spend the money on this brand. I'm never going to spend the money on this product. It does nothing for oily skin. I have no desire. But then I got sent, like I said, a little travel size of the setting powder, and I was like, damn, okay. This is actually pretty legit. This does such a beautiful job at truly helping to blur my imperfections and helping to minimize the appearance of my pores. Like, it does a really great job. Now, I will say the powder does get everywhere, so I don't wear this powder if I know that I want to control my oil, but I do wear it on the days that I just want to have something soft and blurring, and it really helps to blur my imperfections. Like, look at the difference. It's beautiful. And I know that right now, Huda Beauty, I know right now people are definitely canceling Huda Beauty for her political stance, and I totally respect that. But I've had this product prior, and I'm not going to just throw something away just because, I'm not going to just throw something away that I've been using because I find that to be harmful to the environment. I already feel like overconsumption is very harmful, so I want to use what I have before I just toss it just because, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm doing. To set my brows, this was a product that I was never going to buy because I don't like brow laminators. I truly don't. Again, brows and concealers are my least favorite makeup product, but I decided to do a video where I was doing a Shelby Ann viral makeup drugstore routine, and I was like, okay, well, I have to buy this brow product because Shelby Ann bought it. She loved it. Let me try it. I'm gonna hate it. I'm gonna trash it. And it's the L'Oreal 24/7 brow laminator. I was like, I'm gonna hate this thing because there's just no way. So this was a force buy. This was not a I want to buy. This was a force buy. And surprisingly, I don't hate it. It does a really good job at truly kind of laying down my brows, but without being too overpowerful, because I don't like a big feathered brow. I also don't like a brow gel that's like feels really heavy in the brows, where it feels like when you touch it, it's really hard and cakey. I don't like that. I want the brows to still feel soft and almost natural like. So that's kind of what I go for. So I was really against trying this at first, but like I said, I had to get it because of Shelby Ann, and I was going to do her viral makeup chain. And then I ended up I ended up liking the brow laminator. Is it my favorite though? No, but I do like it. I do like it nonetheless, because I do think it does a good job at helping to lay down my brows without being too intense. So for bronzer, I was never going to buy this bronzer because it was literally a $60 bronzer. I was like, who in their right mind would buy this? Like, who in their right mind would buy a $60 bronzer? That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. I think we talked about new makeup releases being, who would do this? But I started seeing all the reviews come in on TikTok, and I was just like, well, maybe I'm missing out. Maybe I'm missing out on buying this. Everybody's raving about this, but it's $60. Like, who would want to do this? But I was like, you know what? The Sephora sale is happening. Let me just go ahead and do it. And I did. And I was just like, damn, I screwed myself over because I fell in love with it. And it's the Dior Jumbo Bronzer. I fell in love with this bronzer. Y'all. Do I ever hit pan on anything? Like, barely. I barely ever hit pan on anything because I do have a lot of makeup products. This speaks volumes for how much I freaking fell in love with this. So freaking beautiful. This reminded me so much of the Marc Jacob makeup bronzer, but you know that Marc Jacobs, you know, it kind of like disappeared and stopped doing beauty products. They are making a comeback. We don't know when, but they're making a comeback, and I was just like, this kind of reminds me so much of it. It's so beautiful. It goes on almost like airbrush, and it just works so effortlessly. Like, I had fallen in love so hard with this bronzer, and I used it all last year that it was like my #1 bronzer of the entire 2025, and I still stand by this. This is such a beautiful bronzer, and no matter what product I put on, no matter what foundation I have on, this still blends so effortlessly. It goes on so airbrushed that I'm just like, damn, I did not expect to love this, because it's also Dior. And I feel like Dior is just one of those brands that you kind of pay for the name more than anything else. But they actually did a really good job with this, and I was surprised. I was surprised with how good they did with this. Okay, so for a highlighter, this was a product that I saw on the market for so long. I never wanted to get my hands on it because, again, I thought this product was just so overly priced for what it was. And I was like, there's just no way I'm ever going to want to pick that up. And I didn't. For a long time, I never picked it up because I was like, everybody raves about it. But honestly, how could it be? I feel like I was just being sold it because of TikTok, right? But then one day I was following Meredith Duxbury, and she just always used it. Always used it when she used to do those like type of faces where she would put on her makeup to like music and do like paint with her hands. I always saw her use this product, and I was like, damn, she kind of sold me on it without even talking about it, but I had seen it for years. And it's the Dior Backstage Glow highlighter right here. I was just like, I'm never going to get a use out of this. But then I bought it during a Sephora sale. We see a trend here. Your girl is cheap. And I tried this out, and I was just like, wow, this is absolutely incredible. How long had I been sitting on this blush? I mean, this highlighter. Like, I have been sitting on this for so long because I refuse to spend the money on it, because I was like, how could Dior make a really nice highlighter? Yeah, well, they proved me wrong, because this is beautiful. Now, it's not going to be one of those most flashiest highlighters out there, but just look at that glow. It says exactly what it is. It's a Backstage Glow face palette, and that's exactly what it does. It just glows. It's really beautiful. It's like one of those highlighters that I can count on, that I know is going to give me a soft, effortless glow without being too overwhelming, because when I go to work, I don't want to wear those big, like, beaming highlighters, because I do work in an office. But I do go in with this because I know I can still get a beautiful soft glow, especially with this like little pinky highlighter. This pinky highlighter is so gorgeous. I've not found another highlighter like this where it still has like a brightness to it, but it doesn't look too overwhelmingly pink, but it just looks beautiful, and my skin looks like it's glowing from within. That's why I love it so much, because I think it's absolutely beautiful. So to finish off the eyes really fast, I'm just gonna go into this shade right here called Mist. I'm gonna put this underneath my waterline, like, very tightly, and I'm gonna take this shade right here called Salvia, this purple shade, like pinky purple. And we're going to softly blend that right underneath that. Just mixing a little bit of that wisteria shade from the very beginning, like what we put up here. I'm putting just a little bit down the bottom too. And then for the inner corner, I'm gonna do something fun. I'm gonna go into this little guy right here. This would be Floresta. We're gonna put that right in the inner corner. Ooh, it's like a little rainbow. It's really pretty. Okay, so to finish off the makeup look, we're going to go into lips. Now, I was never going to buy this product, and the only reason why I did is because I did trying out Shelby Ann's viral makeup drugstore routine. I don't like lip plumpers. I think lip plumpers like hurt my lips so much. They hurt my lips so much, not to mention it's from NYX, and I just haven't had the best of luck when it comes to NYX lip products. So I was like, how good could this be? I tried this out. Freaking fell in love with it. This is now my second one, and it's the NYX Extreme Duck Plump Lip Liner right here. I do have the shade called Subtle Touch, and this is all I have left. And mind you, this is my second one, and I have to go buy another one because I use it all the time. Now, the best part about this one, the reason why I fell so hard in love with it is not because of Shelby Ann. It's because of the product itself. Do I feel like it does anything to plump the lips? No. It does burn my lips. My lips will be burning all day when wearing this. Because I think I'm allergic to something that's in the ingredient. You guys tell me that you guys think I'm allergic to something in the ingredients, and I think you guys are right. Because I wear this to work, and there's something about this that absolutely burns my lips, and it will stay burning all day. But the reason why I love this is the longevity. I can eat, I can drink anything with this, and it still stays on. That is incredible. I've always been trying to find the replacement for the Jaclyn Cosmetics Bourbon Lip Liner. You guys know that. And while this isn't the exact same color, it is a really beautiful color nonetheless, and it pairs so nicely with any lip product that I buy, right? Any lip product, it pairs so nicely with. I love it so much, and it has just a beautiful, beautiful longevity to it. Such a nice longevity. Okay, now this next lip product, I was never going to buy this, not because of any particular reason, but because I don't really care for lip balms. I love lip glosses. You guys know how much I love lip glosses. But when I saw this, I was like, there's no way it's that good. I saw Glamzilla doing a review, trying out all these different shades, and she talked about this one particular shade and how it just matches with everything. And I was like, bet. We're going to see how well it does. I was like, there's no way that this one particular lip color just goes with anything. I tried it out, and I was like, wow. Okay, she's not lying. And it's the Fenty Beauty 2 Lip Kiss. I have told you guys about this gloss bomb, in particular the 2 Lip Kiss shade, since I tried it. Since last year, I fell in love with this. This is my second one. This is my go-to lip balm that I wear every day to work. That's how much I have left because I literally use this almost every single day. This is my go-to lip combo right now. It has been for quite some time. First off, you guys know, like I said, I'm not a lip balm. I am a lip gloss. It has beautiful shine to it. Not as shiny as a lip gloss, right? Not as shiny. But here's the thing. This gloss balm, it's very hydrating. It has the Fenty Beauty signature watermelon scent. But this right here, this is going to stay on. This is going to stay on. I could eat freaking pasta. It's going to stay on. Maybe just a little bit might transfer, like a tiny bit might transfer to my skin, my chin, if that. But this is going to stay on all day. It's going to diminish and shine. Yes, it will diminish and shine. But it's still going to be looking like it's just going to be looking like this, but a little bit more of a mattified version by the end of the day. It holds on so nicely. It literally holds on so nicely. Like I said, the shine will diminish throughout the day because I'll eat and drink and work with it. But in that, it is going to stay on. It's so beautiful. And these two combination have been my go-to for so freaking long. Look how beautiful that is. Look how beautiful that is. And I've told you guys that this particular shade, it has to be 2 Lip Kiss. Has to be the 2 Lip Kiss. It has to be this particular shade from Fenty Beauty. This goes with anything. It's like a peach undertone, but surprisingly, this matches so many different lip liners. It even matches the freaking red lip liner. I don't know why. It's just pure magic. And I was never going to get this until I saw Glamzilla say, this can go with anything. And I was like, there's just no way. I tried it out, and I was like, wow. It truly does. It is my absolute favorite. I talked about this all last year. I raved about it all last year. I bought another one during the Sephora sale. I'm going to be buying it again because it's just so so good. So to set our face, to finalize our face, I was never going to get a finishing powder because I don't know, I never really believed in finishing powders. I've tried out the Nikki Joy Cosmetics Velvet Finishing Powder, and I really did like that, but for some reason that was the only thing I ever tried. I didn't really ever finish my face. Usually whenever I would do in my makeup routine, this was it. This is all I would do. Then I'd set my face with a setting spray. But then I saw this product and I saw people talking about it going, you should really use a finishing powder to kind of lock everything in. And I was like, okay, well, what do I get? And then I saw this and I was like, I would never spend money on that. Like, I would just never spend money on that. But then I saw more and more people talk about it on TikTok. Clearly, I'm very influenced by TikTok, just so you guys know. And I saw people talking about it and I was like, okay, let me pick it up on Sephora sale. I tried it out, and the amount of compliments that I get when wearing this was insane. I don't get them anymore because everybody at work is used to it. But at first, people were like, whoa, your skin looks so blurring, so silky. What are you using? And I'm like, it's the Givenchy finishing powder. You guys know how much I love this, and I almost did not get this because it's expensive. Like I said, I am cheap, okay? I am cheap when it comes to high-end makeup because I find that drugstore makeup works so freaking beautifully. But I was just like, I don't want to spend money on this because if I end up falling in love with it, I'm going to be pissed at myself. And I was like, there's just no way that this particular high-end brand is going to make a really beautiful finishing powder. And shit, they did. They absolutely did. Not only does this help to blur my complexion and bring everything together, but it actually does lock in my makeup. It locks it all in, makes me look nice and blurred, and it does help to control the oil. And that's what I find so shocking. It really helps to control the oil. It helps to minimize the appearance of my pores. And if for some reason my blush is a little bit too heavy, I could go in with it and I can help to blend it out just a little bit more. And it just looks so beautiful and so blurred. It is such a stunning finishing powder that I hit pan. And again, you guys know that I never do that. I never do that, but that speaks volumes for how good this is. And I went and bought another one in the Sephora sale, but I literally almost passed on this because I didn't believe in finishing powders. I never used finishing powders. I didn't want to do the price point, and I'm so glad I got this because this was been my number one product all of 2025, and I can't believe I sat on this as long as I freaking did. To tie it all together, surprisingly, I did not have any desire to try out this next product because I have my One Size On Till Dawn setting spray. This has been my ride or die for years, and anytime I ever try a drugstore setting spray, I was like, it doesn't work. A lot of drugstore setting sprays just really do suck, and they drop the ball when it comes to containing the oil. Like, I'm gonna be so real. Foundations, great. Setting sprays, trash. But then I came across this, and the only reason why I got this is because I tried out the Shelby & Viral Makeup Drugstore Routine. I was like, let me try this. And it's the L'Oreal Infallible 3-Second Setting Mist. I was like, there's just no way that this is going to work. And let me tell you, besties, I was so dead wrong. But I was so dead wrong in the most beautiful way ever. Now, here's the thing. This is literally hairspray in a bottle. It's so intense. It's very intense, but this will lock your makeup in because it sets your face with hairspray. Now, I'm not saying it's hairspray, but that's how it feels. I do know they just recently came out with a new one of these that's not supposed to smell like hairspray or not supposed to be just as intense, but it's not supposed to have the heavy hairspray scent. I personally don't mind it, but I know people out there are sensitive to smell. But they did come out with the new settings one. I'm going to have to go get my hands on it. But I did not want to try this because I was like, it's just going to be a gimmick. It's just not going to work. And it works very beautifully, and I'm so beyond grateful that I got it. This is probably like my fourth one now because I go through a lot of this because I wear makeup every day. And I really ended up falling in love with that. So this is a full face of makeup that I almost passed on, and I'm so glad that I didn't because I would never have discovered some of my holy grails that I have sitting right in front of me. Go ahead and zoom you guys out and we'll wrap up this video. Alrighty guys, so this is gonna be the final look right here. I think the eyes came out absolutely beautifully. I'm really shocked by how well it's performed. Like I said, I didn't have a lot of expectations going into this because when I first tried this brand, I think like 2 years ago, I was not impressed with the quality at all. But then I was told to give them, but then I got reached out to and asked to try them again, and I was like, all right, let me try them. And I'm actually really glad I did. The mattes blended out really nicely. They didn't have too much fallout to them, and those shimmers just feel nice, creamy, and buttery. And I'm really happy. At first, I thought this was going to be kind of patchy because when I swatched it, it looked really patchy. But then after playing with it, it actually worked out really, really nicely. So this is going to be available right now. Like I said, I have no association with them whatsoever, but I'm really excited to see where Ladybug Glow goes from here. I know they have like one other palette. I'm excited to see what their next one will be after this. This has actually been really nice. As for everything else, I mean, you guys know I've already been bragging about these products. These products I've been bragging about for years, so it's no surprise I love them, so I don't need to go over them. But I truly want to know from you guys, what are your products that you guys almost passed on? Because I might end up making a video on that. But with that said, besties, that is it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please make sure you guys give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already, because I do post 3 to 4 videos every single week. Make sure you guys have my other channels are for life. You guys get to see my cool, wonderful adventures, my amazing husband, Corey. And as always, the biggest thank you goes to these beautiful, wonderful patron members you guys see right here. Thank you guys so much for everything. And to my subscribers and viewers, thank you guys so much for being here. Whether you guys like this video, you guys thumbs down this video, you guys subscribe, you guys did not subscribe. Either way, thank you guys so much for being here. I love and appreciate each and every single one of you. So with that said, besties, I love you, and I'll see you guys in the very next video. Bye!